I'm Yuri.
I'm Jakub.
And we're going for a drive. Soft close, soft close. (2018) Genesis G90.
5.0 V8.
Do you think this is the right engine for this car?
I do. The 3.3 twin turbo V6 I don't think would be enough. That should stay in the G80.
Is that the same one from the G70?
It is as well.
Yo, speaking of G70, check out our G70 video. That car is awesome.
2019 G70 is a very good car.
The G70 though.
But back to this one. This is super luxury.
It is reasonably quick. You get that luxury send.
However, this is not a car like the 7 Series or the S-Class where you'd be like, bring your buddies in the car, hey, watch this. None of that in this car.
No,
it's just perfectly adequate.
Yeah, kind of older style smoothness.
Which I like. There's no lag, you just send it and it goes.
So should we address the elephant in the room?
Yes, we should.
This car kind of looks like an S-Class.
2014 Mercedes S-Class review. No.
But you know what? I think it looks like a Genesis. Genesis hasn't been around long enough for people to fully accept what a Genesis actually looks like.
Yes, but this particular car is very heavily influenced by the Mercedes S-Class of the previous generation.
Influenced, but changed enough.
It's the taillights, that's what does it for me for the rear end. That's why it looks like a previous Gen S-Class.
Yeah, they kind of come up and swoop up, but they do look cool and they do suit the car really well.
They do, they look great because they look like S-Class ones.
They kind of look G80-ish.
Yeah, kind of. What do you think of the front end though?
I think it's great. It's got that Genesis front end grille. It has no other front end grille and they're not copying anyone.
Very true.
It is Genesis.
And the headlights are very Genesis.
The headlights are very Genesis. They're not as good as the G80, but they're better than the G70. In auto mode, the headlights are off and it's only those lights at the bottom that are on, so you need to have it in the daytime running light mode.
I don't like those LED strips below the headlights. The headlight LEDs look amazing.
Yeah, we also have a little bit of chrome at the front. It's okay. Not like the craziest looking thing ever, but it looks good.
Before we talk more about looks, visor test?
Yeah, for sure. Spoiler alert, I already saw
massive.
the icon. I already saw the icon up here. 3, 2, 1.
Full pass. Blocks the whole window.
Okay, a lot of people in the comments have been complaining that we don't talk about the audio systems enough and we should stop doing the visor tests and talk more about audio systems. We're not going to stop doing the visor tests.
Never.
But let's talk about the audio system.
It's good. Now we talked about it.
No, it's like really good. You can turn it up so loud that like 75% of the way through, it hurts your ears.
Okay, back to looks. I like the wheels.
The wheels are cool. I think they're Maybach wheels.
They're very similar.
But they look good, just not as big.
Yeah, exactly. I think they could be one size up.
The side profile, I love it. I love the body lines. They're subtle, but like strong. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. It's just not the best angle for me.
I like it.
I really like the rear end angle because it looks like an S-Class.
Whatever though. Very wide tires.
Very wide tires. They look amazing from the back. That's why I like the back angle.
Dual exhaust.
Dual exhaust. It has the fake tip in the middle, but that's fine, whatever.
Yes, because it also has very dark mufflers, so you can't tell that it's fake.
You know what else does that? The S-Class.
You know what else has that? The G70.
A lot of cars have that.
Yeah. That's enough about looks. Let's talk about the rear passenger area.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. It's not next level like Mercedes and BMWs, but it's very good for the price.
Unreal for the price. You've got a center armrest that comes down with a ton of controls, like a ton. Way more than most cars.
You control the front radio and infotainment with the back buttons, and everything's laid out intuitively. And then you can also adjust your seating position and have it recline, which is very nice.
You have so many options. You even have an option that says door, which means if you're reclined, if you click door, when you open the door, it'll put you in a nice position so you can get out comfortably.
Yeah, it's actually really smart. What's the most important feature that they have? Peasant blockers.
Peasant blockers, and they come up so nice and quietly and smoothly.
Yeah,
I've got a rear peasant blocker as well.
I'd really like to point that out, how quiet those come up. The motors and the doors are very quiet, and we also have peasant blockers for the little corner windows, so they paid attention to that, so great job. There's also heated and cooled seats in the back.
You can also move this passenger seat forward from the back, but it doesn't have a footrest like the 7 Series.
That's right.
But it moves so much faster than the 7 Series does and in a smooth motion. So is this kind of a being driven around in car?
I don't really know if it is. There's not that much back there. It is very comfortable.
Being driven around on a budget?
Yeah. For me, everything in here is just not enough.
For me, everything here is perfect. Which infotainment system do I love the most?
Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis.
What car am I driving in?
Genesis G90.
What do I like about luxury cars?
The knob.
Yes, I think this knob control is fantastic.
Yeah, well, I see fingerprints because there's fingerprints on the screen which don't actually activate the touchscreen, and those are from me because I would like a touchscreen.
I wanted a touchscreen until I got used to it. It's so perfect. Check this out.
I don't think it's perfect
Turn
at
it
all.
on. You've got hard buttons for everything. A lot of buttons, but do they look overwhelming?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
But the infotainment itself, I do not like.
Let me explain to you why it's the best. The dial is very similar to how the one in the Mercedes works. Remember they got rid of that in the A-Class and we're really upset about it?
Yes.
You've got your home back button right up here. You click home, it shows you all the settings like the E-Class did. But the AMG and the S-Class does not. It zooms in too much and you can't see them all. So I like that right away.
I just don't think it's very impressive. It looks pretty budget.
What did we not like about the G70? It's that the infotainment looked too much like a Hyundai Kia. This they changed enough, but with the exact same functionality.
So they didn't change it correctly.
I think they did because it does look classy. It does rewind 10 satellite radio stations, but you need to use the knob to get there. You can't just push the rewind button. It makes it better because I don't have to look where my finger's going. All I have to do is down, down, click, 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 up, up.
All right, now go to the map. Tell me how budget that looks.
It looks like a Kia Hyundai, but it's
Exactly.
but it's a good map, so why would they change it?
Because they need to make it look nicer to match everything in its class. Tell me that this looks
That's
better.
true.
Tell me that this looks better than the S-Class. Tell me right now.
No. The map,
Thank you.
The map could use some work.
Everything about the infotainment could use a little bit of work to spice it up for this class. That's it. Enough about this infotainment. I'd like to drive.
Admit that it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
All right, you can drive.
It's not great though.
You can drive. Let me put it into park with this amazing shifter, which we'll talk about shortly.
Will we?
Okay, fine, I'll talk about it now. It is the perfect distance away from the armrest. When you're using the tuning knob, your arm sits perfectly on the shelf style shifter.
Yeah, that's true actually. I did notice that.
Okay, now you drive.
All right. Are you ready?
Oh, sport mode.
Sport mode, send. It's not bad. Not bad at all. I love the drivetrain.
It's very luxury send.
It is. It's very comfortable. So we do have 4 different drive modes, and they're very confusing. So we have Smart, Sport, Eco, and Individual. I don't like that there's no Comfort or Comfort Plus, because if you go through the settings, you can actually adjust it to Comfort or Comfort Plus, but that has only impacted your individual setting, not your Smart or your Sport. So you don't know if you're in Comfort suspension in Smart mode.
That is a very valid complaint.
It's just a little bit confusing, but if you don't want to think about it ever, you leave it in smart mode and you just assume that you're in the most comfortable position.
Well, it is pretty comfortable in that.
It is, but what if you want to sometimes send, but you want to send but still be comfortable?
Okay, you got a
Then
point.
you have to go individual.
What I don't like about the modes is that green and orange is a little too bright. I think for a classier car, it should be darker and more mature.
I agree, it looks cheaper.
But we've got sick gauges.
They are pretty nice.
They're the regular Hyundai Kia Genesis gauges that are very simple.
Yeah, very simple.
They always work. You know what's going on. It's perfect.
Enough about the gauges. Back to the power. 420 horsepower out of a 5-liter V8 and 383 pound-feet of torque.
That's good horsepower numbers.
It is actually. I actually can't say enough good things about the ride quality in this. I would actually compare this to an S-Class in terms of general comfort and ride quality.
This does a lot of things as good, if not better, than an S-Class.
I wouldn't say better. I wouldn't say this does a single thing better. I would say as good.
Intuitiveness. Dude, S-Class is confusing. Mercedes needs to spend some time. I bet you pure senior citizens need to spend so much more time getting used to an S-Class than getting used to this. And this car is slightly for senior citizens.
It would be very easy to get to the bingo hall in this.
Yeah.
Like, very easy.
It would take a little longer in the Mercedes.
Yes, it would.
There, so this does something better.
All right, fine. You got me there.
And I don't mind it being an old person car. I like old person cars.
So do I. I have a Lexus GS 2001, pure old person car. Not anymore because I lowered it. You'll see videos about that soon. All right, it's a little hot. I'm going to turn on my cooled seats.
Okay, that's what I don't like about the cooled seats.
Yeah.
They're too far back. You need to look down.
Yes.
The Stinger had a lot of stuff like that as well.
Back to the powertrain. Transmission, very smooth. This is all-wheel drive. H-Track. And there's a
Get rid
badge.
of that badge.
Get rid of the badge.
The only reason people had all-wheel drive badges was stuff like Quattro's cool. It came out, they won races. You know what? I don't think the Genesis G90 ever won a race.
And it's not going to,
So
which is
just
fine.
Get rid of the badge.
Exactly.
Hey, keep talking about handling while we hit Cliche Corner.
I will. I'll talk about the adaptive suspension, which is actually very, very comfortable. You put into sport mode, and sport mode is still equally comfortable. I don't really find a huge difference between sport and comfort mode, which I don't mind because I don't want this car to be super sporty, but it's perfectly adequate for the level of sportiness that you want out of a car like this.
I fully agree with your well thought out statement.
Okay, I guess I'll turn around now.
Are you going to use your reverse camera?
I am, and it's in quite high definition.
It's just like the Stinger. It's got all the cool settings where you can check where your front wheels, your back wheels are, but this one is like super HD for some reason.
It is super HD. It's not Mercedes level HD, but it's Genesis level HD.
But Mercedes doesn't have the stuff on the front wheel and back wheels to see how far you are from a curb.
Very true.
Another thing this beats a Mercedes at.
You know what it doesn't beat it at? Android Auto, Apple CarPlay.
This doesn't have it.
This is the first Kia Hyundai Genesis that we've sat in that does not have that.
Besides the base model Rio.
Yeah, okay, fair
But that's
enough.
not expected.
No.
Well, I mean, this doesn't have a touchscreen, so that's probably why they don't have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. No touchscreen. And as far as I'm concerned, if you've got Apple CarPlay, you're not going to use Apple Maps anyway, so there's really no point of it.
I think you're just coming up with excuses for them not having it.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
I'm a Genesis apologist.
Yeah, sounds like
I'm
it.
just trying to tell people, trust me, it's good. Trust me, it's good. Wait a couple years, it's good. But I actually really like it, and I think it's going to be really good in a couple years.
Yeah, what about right now?
No, right now it's really good. I think in a couple years, everyone's going to accept it as being really good. Right now, in all the comments, anytime you mention Hyundai, Kia, Genesis, to be like, no, it's good now, it's good now. There's always people saying that.
You know what isn't good though? The paddles.
I didn't have any issues with it.
They're creaky. That's the quality that kind of pisses me off. I expect it to not be creaky.
Hit me right now, I want to hear a creak.
Do you hear that? Yeah.
Okay, there's a little bit of creak.
Thank you. You know what else creaks? The mirror.
Okay, maybe that should be
There's
addressed.
certain things that I just don't think are up to par.
But for the price, is it acceptable?
Yes, because it's competing with cars that are in a lower price bracket, which are smaller. So if you want a bigger car in a lower price bracket, then this is the biggest one you can get, if that makes any sense.
So this is bigger for the same price or a lot cheaper for the same size?
Yes.
Seems like a good plan to me. I'm not getting paid by this company. I know it sounds like that.
Yeah.
I actually like it. Jacob knows this. He will defend my opinions to the death.
Hey, I haven't seen your check, so I don't know if you get any mail that I don't.
When I get a Plymouth Prowler, then you guys can start accusing me of getting paid by people, and I'll tell you who I get paid by.
Yeah, because then we actually have money.
Yeah. Patreon.com/TheStraightPipes.
Yeah, please.
It's either that or we sell more merch.
Or watches.
Or watches.
Watch our next watch ad, because we're actually going to do some watch ads.
Or Vikings iPhone games.
Back to the steering wheel, because we got a little off topic there. These meat tenderizing finger button things, they look like meat tenderizers.
They've been in other cars.
Yeah, but they're way sharper in this one and way bigger.
I like the shape of the steering wheel a lot.
Oh, I hate the shape of it. The actual four-spoke thing, I can't stand that. I can never get comfortable because on a long trip, I want to cruise like this, but I want my hand to be exactly where that spoke is.
We do have lane keep assist and radar cruise.
Works perfectly.
The lane keep assist doesn't need to be in cruise control to work. A lot of cars need that. In the Volvo S90, if you hit the brakes while you're in cruise control and pilot assist, it's going to turn off pilot assist.
It's going to be very, very minimal assist, and I do agree that it does suck, and I wish there was a separate button just like it is in here. Moving on to more interior stuff, the seats, very comfortable. I can get comfortable, apparently you can't.
Yeah, there's something weird about this seat that doesn't fit perfectly with my spine, but I think I hurt my back, so that might be it.
I have no issues with it. What I do have an issue with is that there's no massage.
Yes, but for the price, kind of understandable.
But for the class, not really.
What I don't like is that the headrests aren't super soft.
I did notice that.
But the headrests are adjustable forward, back, up, and down.
What I do like about it, and it's perfect for the class, the analog clock. And what do we have below that? We have this crazy old person spec wood trim.
I kind of like the old person spec wood trim.
But it's definitely old person spec.
From an old Buick and stuff, it's like firewood almost.
Firewood.
Like flame wood.
You mean like wood on fire?
Yeah, no, like fire patterned wood.
It's kind of cool. It's definitely old person-ish. But
like,
you can actually spec a black interior because we have a brown one, and then you get a different wood.
I do like the brown. I do like the satin trimmed metal.
And we do have some gloss black down by the touch controls, which is annoying, but there's not that much of it, so I'll let it slide.
Something I won't let slide, small cup of Tim Hortons coffee. The cup holder opens to the inside, and it'll pop your lid off. It's a pain. Not the best.
You need a medium.
Actually,
in this car.
full fail.
That's a
Complete
full
fail, full disappointment. I think they need the sliding thing like the G90 had. I've got one more complaint that I forgot about, and it comes down to my control knob that I love so much. It doesn't have a volume slider here. Think about it. Does that not bother you?
I'm just looking at it. It's gloss black. It's pissing me off.
I forgot about that. Maybe I should wrap it in firewood.
Yeah, maybe.
You've been saying it's in a weird class. What's the price?
$87,000 all in. I'd also like to point out that the difference in price between the 3.3 liter twin turbo and the 5 liter V8 is only $3,000. And you get some interior stuff too.
So what do you think you should go with, V8?
Oh, I think you're stupid if you bought this in the 3.3 liter V6.
Yeah, because V8.
$3,000, buddy. Work an extra couple hours or couple days.
Is this much faster than the 3.3 V6?
Yeah.
Is it a lot faster?
Yeah.
Is that a good price for this? If you're comparing this to an S-Class, is it a good price for it?
I think because of the size, if you want the size, you want to be comfortable back there, yes, but you just don't get all the same features. If you want the same ride quality and comfort, yes.
So are you kind of being badge snobby right now?
No. I'm being feature snobby for the class.
Yeah, but that S-Class we had wasn't that outclassing this.
Yeah, it was. How many colors of ambient lighting do we have in here? Is it
One.
impressive?
We have one color, and since you don't have options with interior, it'll match the interior perfectly. It's a dark bluish.
How many people did you take for a drive in that one and try and impress versus this one? That's what I thought. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and patreon.com/TheStraightPipes.
Yo, I really like this Genesis.
I know you do.
You know what? I actually went to the camera store, and the camera guys were really impressed with this. And I bring every car there.
Were they impressed by the S-Class?
Yes, but they were also really impressed by this. Shout out DV Shop. I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. This is a subscription break. Don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe right now. Subscribe. We didn't do that.